When societies are at their best, it's usually when most of the people are stoic. And when society is at its worst, most of the people are overly emotional, Epicurean. When the people in the society are more logical, less emotional, more rational, hardworking, that's the peak of that particular society. That's the golden age of that particular society. The money's good, the jobs are plentiful, housing is very affordable. But once we get weakened and become more emotional, that's when society begins to fracture and ultimately crumbles from 1,000 cuts. So weak people ruin society. As soon as we have too many weak people running around in society, society is on the verge of collapse or civil unrest. So American culture, Western culture as a whole, is suffering. We have forgotten who we are, where we came from, our ideology, all of the above, which is why society is deteriorating. Now, the current president is doing his very best to correct the wrongs of the past, but there's only so much you can do in a certain amount of time. So let's talk about the cycle of weakness, the breakdown of the family unit. So this is how the cycle of weakness usually begins, right? Man, woman, his grandparents or her grandparents usually failed them by not teaching them the right things, teaching them the wrong things, usually be more feelings based. And then they pass that down to their children. And then the next thing you know, you have a whole family, 3 generations of degenerate people that aren't contributors to society. So this is how we get to the state now where everybody's overly emotional, inclusive, entitled, participation trophy type stuff, because we're not as hardcore and tough like we used to be. In order to get a trophy, you had to be first place. And if you weren't in first place, you didn't get anything. And that's when society was at its best, when the people were competitive, when people are more stoic, hardworking, tough. We're far from that. We're overly coddled. Now, just like a cancer, it starts small. It starts very subtly. You probably don't even feel the symptoms of it initially. But slowly but surely it spreads to different parts of your body. And this is how this weakness starts. It starts in the family. It ends in the family, to be honest with you. Guys, if the family unit is not unified, if your parents aren't teaching you the right things, you are going to be lost. You're going to be going in the wrong direction. And if it gets to the point to where the whole society is like that, nothing's going to thrive. So where do we see this going on in society today? The cancer is starting to spread into different areas. This is why nobody wants to work nowadays. Now, the go-to answer in the comment section is going to be like, why would I work for somebody that doesn't respect me and that treats me like crap, and all this victim mindset. And that might be very true, but here's the thing: you got bills to pay. I drive a car. I gotta pay this car. You got lights on. water, food, shelter. You have to pay for things. You have to work a job and receive money in order to pay for the things in order for you to live properly. So yes, two things might be true at the same time. You might actually need that job. And so to the people that are watching this video right now, since I got to this point of the video, don't quit your job. We're still under the ramifications and the effects of Joe Biden. So don't quit your job just yet. Trump's policies and stuff aren't going to hit until about 6 months to a year later, guys. We're still going to be in this thing with like the rest of 2025, most of it at least. So we're still trending in the wrong direction. So don't quit your job, because the likelihood of you getting another one is very low. It's very low. So this is why nobody wants to work, because we're too emotion based. We're not thinking rationally. Hey, I don't like my coworkers. Hey, I don't like my manager, but hey, I have to pay bills. I have a kid. I have a family to take care of. I can't just quit because I don't feel like they treat me like I need to be treated. It's a job. You're there to conform. You're there to get your paycheck and go home. Nothing more, nothing less. So everyone quits when things don't go their way. Job, and this leads me to my next point, even in relationships, people are quick to quit relationships. This is why relationships don't last. Marriages don't last, because we're feelings based. Our society, your family taught you to be a feelings based. Society promotes feelings based through media and propaganda. So you already were taught the wrong things in the family, and now you're getting reinforced to go in the wrong direction through propaganda and media. And we wonder why we're in the state that we're in. We wonder why we're going in the wrong direction at warp speed. So relationships don't work because everyone is selfish. As soon as the relationship doesn't feel good, as soon as I'm not happy, it's time to go. Who told you you're going to feel happy at the job all the time? Who told you you're going to be happy in every relationship all the time? The honeymoon stage wears off. This is why it's more important to, instead of loving somebody, it's more important to respect that person and have likability. Meaning that you actually like them as a person. You actually like talking to them and being around them past intercourse. So when people don't feel good, when things get hard, they quit. This is why another reason why relationships don't work. People are overly entitled, which is why they come up with all of these unrealistic expectations of what a relationship is supposed to be. What they really want is just a slave that they can mold. In order to get value, you have to give value. You can't just take and expect the other person to sit there and accept it. You have to give. A relationship is 50-50. You have to give something to get something. I'm not talking about financial. I'm talking about emotional. I'm talking about time, respect. You want respect, you have to give it. So weak people ruin society. And this starts in the family, but this cancer spreads to work, it spreads to relationships with other people, and then it spreads to higher levels of leadership. And the next thing you know, society is over. If we do not fix the family, if we do not fix that, family values, society cannot thrive. Hopefully you guys got some insight out of this. This was on my mind for a couple of days, so I had to make this video. You guys don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share the video, like the video. I appreciate you guys watching to the end. You guys have a good day, good week, and I will see you guys in the next one, man. Peace.